Hello everyone, it's spring break. Well, it's just about to end for us, and I figured it's time for me to make another video. And this video I actually do really hope that I can ask for your prayers, or as politicians say, thoughts and prayers. I'll be expounding upon that closer to the end of this video. So yes, I'm kind of a jerk for putting in the teaser and then not talking about it right away, but there's a few things I'd like to cover. First of all, I guess medical things. Since the last update, we did actually go see the lung doctor for the follow-up to test my lung capacity and see if it's gotten worse and such. It's been, I think, 3 months since the last time we tested. And if you recall, we were not very fond of the lung doctor because it seemed like she kept trying to sell us things like, oh, you don't qualify for oxygen. Oh, let's see if you qualify for CPAP. Let's see if you qualify for artificial lung, stuff like that. So I didn't qualify for those, and she was kind of disappointed in that. And I would have thought that's good news, right? So anyway, we went in for the lung capacity test, and we had set it up so that we saw all the doctors on the same day. So we did the test, and we went immediately for the follow-up with the lung doctor, and she started talking about devices again. And, we listened for a few minutes, and I was like, well, what are the test results? She said, oh yes, there's a slight decrease, but it is within, the standard, generally you might have a bit more, a bit less any day, so it's within that margin of error, so-called. So basically there's been no degradation, which is good. But she continued to say, oh, let's look at this option, or it takes a long time to order, and we said, well, no, let's do the test again in 6 months and then we'll see, right? So we were able to I don't know what it's called, but we didn't give in to the sales pitch, like some kind of a timeshare presentation or something. It almost feels like. Okay, so that was the medical update. One other thing that I forgot to bring up in the last month's video, was that I had this weird thing on the back of my head, like a month and a half ago, where it's like I had a pimple that was really swollen and painful, right on the back of my head. And so even if I laid my head on the pillow or on the bed and rolled over, it was really, really painful. And it was to the point where I was like, well, this is like an abscess. Maybe we should go see urgent care and have them drain it or something. And Stacy was like, well, no, let's kind of see. And eventually I got angry with it, and I picked at it, and I think I made it bleed, and it did drain. But what interesting that happened with that is that it caused a bald spot, a little one, just like the one I had from last year when I fell and hit my head on the tile and got like a swollen bump on my head, and I got a little bald spot. And I'm pretty sure the bald spots are in the same place. We're going to cut to a video where I show you the bald spot. Look at it. And you can see it looks just like the one from before. Although, I'm a little concerned now because that was over a month ago, and hair hasn't started growing yet in that bald spot. Whereas I think last time, after the swelling had gone away, I think hair started growing within a few weeks. So we'll see whether or not this bald spot ends up being permanent. So that's the bald spot. I do have to give the answer for the Hinkedy. I did get some people who did guess correctly, although I did have to give them hints. So the clue once again was a dancer sponsored by Pepsi. And the answer, because we're so clever in this family, is Aquafina Ballerina. I'm very proud of myself for that one. So I guess in that vein of slightly humorous things, I would like now to share a story of something that happened to me a few weeks ago, and also because it's a cautionary tale, so that none of you would have to experience what I experienced. So when I use the toilet, the bathroom, I use the bathroom and then I'm finished and I have to get Stacy to help me off of the toilet. But we don't want me to have dirty hands when I'm getting off the toilet, because I hug Stacy and she hugs me and we get up and we move back to the chair. So every time I'm done, she squirts some hand sanitizer into my hands. I have the bottle here. We have this bottle of Up and Up from Target. This seems to do a good job, so I clean my hands and then I hug her and we get off the toilet. Well, a few weeks ago, I was a little bit, whose fault is it really? Sometimes Stacy gives me too much sanitizer, I think. But whatever the case, I accidentally dripped a drop. And as you can see, as I'm cleaning my hands, they're over a particularly vulnerable part of my anatomy. And of course I'm not wearing any pants. So I dripped some onto my sensitive areas. And I will tell you, it is a horrible burning sensation that I had for like 5 minutes, maybe 10. And it was really terrible. So do not put hand sanitizer on sensitive areas of your body. Seriously, don't try this at home.
No.
I don't know why my son is like that. And you know, we know what happens when you put products with alcohol on sensitive skin. Home Alone, for example.
I'm in good shape.
So I was kind of reading, I wonder which ingredient it is, but I couldn't figure it out, and I can't pronounce some of these words, so that's that. Just please, learn from my misery. Now, I would like also to mention, and thank again, all the friends that we have that are so supportive and helpful. You know, our friends across the street have, over spring break, they took our kids twice for very fun events, and the kids had a great time. They played with like newborn puppies and made crafts and things. We had other friends that came by for dinner, and they made dinner, brought it to our house, and then they took me for a ride in my car. So the husband and we went for a drive because we need to exercise the car and keep it in running shape. And we drove quite a long time. I gave bad directions, and we actually were lost for a little bit, but it was a good time. Really appreciate all the people that care for us, pray for us. And now we come to the last part of the video here where I teased at the beginning. I think that's all I had to say. Where I would like to talk about prayers that I'm requesting. So I've been on these IVIG treatments now for like 10 and a half months. And in fact, for the last 3 or 4, they've been at a higher frequency. So instead of every 3 weeks, I've been doing them every 2. But I haven't really noticed, you know, real improvement. Like my neck did get stronger at one point, and it still feels stronger than its worst. But you know, in December, my biceps got weaker, and they're really weak now. I can't really bend my arms to pick them up. And so I'm trying to compare the current results with what I had in 2021. Because in 2021, I did get better. I had been on the IVIG infusions for about 8 months at that time. And the beginning of my rapid improvement happened around the 8-month period, but I had also had 1 infusion of Rituxan, or rituximab. I think it has different names. They had to stop the second infusion because I was allergic. And I had hives all over my body. It was very, very terrible, actually. But at that time, I was allergic to IVIG as well. There were 2 or 3 infusions of IVIG where after the infusions or during the infusions, I developed really bad hives. We had to go to urgent care one time, I had to get a shot. But, you know, if I compare previously to now, I got better for 4 months, 5 months after that rituximab infusion. And then I plateaued. So the rituximab infusion was May of 2021. I plateaued in September of 2021, and we got COVID, so I lost some weight. And I'm like, well, I couldn't really track my progress. And then it was, you know, December to January of 2022 when I started declining really rapidly. So we see the neurologist March 29th in the afternoon, and I'm kind of asking for prayers that we would be convincing, or that the doctor would agree with us, or I don't know. I would like to try that rituximab infusion again, because right now my allergy to the IVIG is gone, and I'm going to hope that the allergy to the rituximab is also gone, because I did have 1 infusion that was totally without incident, and 1 where I was allergic. And the allergic one was right in the midst of IVIG allergy reactions. So, yeah, I'm just really hoping that that doctor visit goes well, that we can try that other treatment, because I'm sort of getting a little bit, I don't know what the word is, kind of depressed, but not really. I'm not down or sad or whatever. I did cry a lot yesterday, but that's because I was watching the movie The 3 Idiots, which is an amazing Bollywood movie. I think it's the best Bollywood movie. I've had Indian friends that tell me it's the best movie India ever made. And I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. It is very long, but it's a great story. And it has a lot of, I don't know, it teaches a lot about life. I think that I feel like the lessons that you learn in that movie are really worthwhile. So anyway, I would really appreciate if you all could be praying and helping. I don't know. I appreciate it. I appreciate when people pray. I appreciate when people care for us. And I guess right now I kind of feel like I would appreciate it more. And not that I'm accusing anyone of not doing it enough. But I guess that's the end of this video for today. I feel like it's been long enough. Thank you all for watching, putting up with all the silly, useless things I say in the middle. And I look forward to sharing a happier update the next time after we see the neurologist next week. Once again, that's on March 29th. So thanks again.